Welcome back to the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I am Alex Toledo. I am here after a 116-112 Heat loss to the New York Knicks. Unfortunately, even though it was a very fun game, went to overtime. Heat were in control for much of the game. It was unfortunate to be able to, even though a lot of Heat fans are, I'm sure, not too mad about losing a game with the draft pick situation. Maybe it's for the better. Problem is you had to walk out of there if you were at this game listening to Knicks fans all night cheer for the team, and sometimes kind of outdo Heat fans when it comes to the cheering. And then you had them chanting in the hallways after the game talking about "Let's go Knicks." It was real loud. I was telling my guy Brady Hawk that I was going to be like a child at games who doesn't like loud noises and just put some earphones on to drown out the noise, because it was insane in there. Fun game, playoff-like atmosphere. I thought the Heat played a good game overall, but the offense really kind of fell off a cliff down the stretch of that game, starting kind of late third quarter. I thought for most of the game that he had a very nice offense. The Knicks defense is very subpar, especially Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, you can just go at Brunson and Towns every time down with kind of your main guys, and that's what the Heat did. And they were taking advantage throughout most of this game with Tyler and Duncan led actions. Like, they were getting stuff almost every time down. You had a really nice third quarter from Davion and Alec Burks. Alec Burks hit a really clutch shot down the stretch of the game too, but in the fourth quarter, most of their shooters and main players were not able to really, be able to get themselves open. Were not able to free up off of the screens the way they were, and with the pick and roll was just not as effective as it was throughout the game. I think the Knicks were defending better in the second half, and they just did a much better job of playing their game, specifically Brunson. Brunson really turned up down the stretch. So shout out to Bam for like the tough mid-range shots he hit, keeping the Heat in the game throughout the final stretch there and in overtime. But it wasn't enough. Tyler wasn't able to, after a pretty good game, kind of cooled off in the fourth quarter. Big 30-point game for Bam. But yeah, Brunson just ended up outplaying you down the stretch there. The Knicks did a good job, I think, of kind of figuring out the things that they were doing wrong and adjusting, because that pick and roll was just not nearly as effective down the stretch there. The Heat were not generating great offense like they were throughout most of those first three quarters. So with that, I'm going to go cover the Heat press conference now. But, it's cool to see them compete with a good team, even though that the outlook doesn't change with anything like that. Both teams didn't shoot well from three, but the Heat finished about 6% better from two, against a Knicks team that is an offensively very, very proficient and prolific team. So, missing Wiggins, missing Jovic, missing Jaquez, like, to be able to do that, it was nice to see them, do that just in general. And shout out to Kalal Ware, had his moments there to close and to close the game, and was eventually subbed out for Burks and Haywood, but had 6 blocks. Whole lot of zone tonight. At times very nice for the Heat, at other times not, and I think that kind of stopped going their way down the stretch of that game. They were able to do a lot with it, but then as time went on, the Knicks just ended up killing them with the offensive rebounds and the second chance points. That ended up being, to me, one of the big differences from this game. And with that, make sure to check out the 5 on the Floor podcast tonight. It is going to be going up soon. And check out the Discord server. Link is in the description. Pay $3 per month and get all our information, all access to the chats, being able to talk with us, and plenty more stuff. So make sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go do what I need to do, man.